I don't know if there was a particular level in mind for that track. Because I think there was a whole bunch of what we called mini games in Little Big Planet 2, which were like non-main path levels that were just like little cool things that some of the designers had made. And I think it was probably just like, okay, we need a kind of higher energy track for that. And I think that might be the level, one of the levels it appears in the original game. I think there's a little shooty spaceship thing or something. Anyway, so I think I was just like something that had a decent amount of intensity for that. And then the starting point, as far as I can remember, was some analog synth. So it's probably the bass line, actually. I think it was the first time I remember on a track using, I guess, I don't know what you'd call them. Like I when I put them structure in my DAW, I call them effects, but I don't mean like reverb or delay. I mean like samples that are like risers or lifters or drops or that kind of thing. But I was using like analog synth effects because there's a whole bunch of like type stuff going on in that track. And I don't think I'd really done any of that before, and really not really written much to me about electronic music prior to that track. Most of my stuff prior to that was quite acoustic. So if you think of like the pod music from Little Big Planet 1, or like, you know, stuff that had guitars and mandolin and flutes and recorders and all this stuff, that track was definitely super electronic. So it was kind of I would say it's one of the first times I've ever done that, really. And yeah, and then the other thing I remember is there's an Omnisphere gospel choir patch that is the singers in there. That, and then there's like a little drop in it, and there's something like a snare drum. That was me also, again, kind of for the first time, experimenting with how to elongate a track, because it's a very common problem for people starting out writing music, particularly electronic music, is you kind of get stuck in a loop, because a lot of the music is very kind of like mantric and loopy. And that's great when you're off your head on pills, but doesn't necessarily translate to a great experience in a game. So finding ways to extend an electronic track that doesn't just involve going copy and pasting, so that it actually kind of changes gears for a little bit and goes somewhere else. I think that was me playing with that, because up until that point, and still now, my music is generally it's in like binary form, so it's just kind of just, you know, verse chorus, occasionally a bridge. There might be a little switcheroo just again to break up the repetition, so there might be like 3 different sections in there. But I think that was the first time I had done a track which maybe just had like a little something that was just like a bit different. So in some sort of ways, that track is like a little transition point for me. So it's really weird that you pick up on it, because no one's ever asked me about that track before. So I always really loved it. Like I was really proud of it at the time. And sort of I was like, yeah, that's not that it's sophisticated, but it's more sophisticated in terms of those little arrangement and production things than I'd done before. And so I learned a lot from it, and also then got a lot of confidence off the back of it, you know. And so, yes, it's an important track in my sort of primordial early writing music career.